What's up, bro? I thought it was like a day in the life type thing, showing up early to the office. I was telling Ryan that I thought I beat you to the office, but he told me he thinks you've already been in today. Is that
I
true?
was already here for an hour.
Frick, of course you were. What time? What time did you get here?
Dude, I like
And then
5 this morning.
and then you went to the
4:35
gym.
this morning. Then I went to the gym.
What'd you do at the gym?
Weights.
Gym bag and coffee. We're heading down to Southwest Little Rock right now. We're going to shoot a video about 18 Old Glory Court. It's a new construction duplex that we just finished. We were hoping to go down there and do a full video of it. We talked about doing it when we were building it, but fortunately or unfortunately, it's a good problem. But it leased up so quickly, and the tenants moved in so fast, we didn't get a chance to do like a full walkthrough. So we're just going to go, I guess, stand across the street, be a little bit creepy, and just shoot a video from the front of it. But at least we can go take a look at it. We built another duplex very recently for a customer right down the road, and so we decided to do this one internally. And it went really well. So we again, at least within, I think, less than a month of being finished at our top projected rent. So especially the market right now is a little bit tougher. And so when we see that, I would definitely say that's a successful project. The South Park area is in the Capitol View neighborhood, which I think is a super cool part of town. Like it in my mind, it's a much nicer area. So it's weird. And it's a nicer, larger duplex. Like to me, it's just a much nicer area and a nicer duplex. I think what is driving a lot of stuff right now, unfortunately, is just affordability. And so this one that we're going to right now, it's a smaller unit. So it's a smaller 2-bedroom, 1-bath, which means it's just slightly cheaper. So it's just shy of $1,100 a month per unit. And I think people right now are really just chasing affordability. And so it's a more affordable unit, so it leased up quicker. We're leasing the other units over there on South Park, so we've leased 3 out of 4. But it's going a little bit slower, and it's not much more expensive, but it's just a couple $100 a month, I think. Makes a big difference right now when people are tight on a ton of money. So the new construction duplex behind me is the one we just finished. At least for right now, we're planning on keeping that in our portfolio. But we do build and sell these to investors, or we'd sell the ones that we, like this one that we currently own. The appraised value on this, or the value, is $275,000. Each side rents for $1,095, and they leased up, like I said, very quickly. The nice thing with the newer construction ones, they have very low maintenance costs. One thing I see, like I've used debt and leverage to grow my portfolio, but like one area where I see investment like this that makes sense for some people is if they have a lot of cash and they pay cash for something like this. It's $275,000, but with no debt service, their cash on cash returns actually decent. I think it's about 7%. And then their actual monthly cash flow would be a little bit over $1,600 after all the expenses. And so for somebody that's just sitting on cash, they don't want a ton of rental properties, but they just want some steady income and a decent return on their cash. Like, paying cash right now kind of makes sense for some people. So we're seeing a lot of not a lot, but a decent amount of buyers right now that are buying smaller investment properties like this are coming in and paying cash for it. I personally know, like, I've got a family member that they own one rental property. They paid cash, so it's free and clear. The rents are about the same. And then they don't have a lot of debt service, it's just the minimal expenses, and then the cash flow, so that $1,600 a month goes to pay like all their medical insurance, and they just use it for that one bill. And so something like this would be great for somebody that's got the cash that wants to buy cash. You can use debt on it, so it still makes sense. The returns, the cash on cash returns, not as high. But if you put a little bit more down, so right now instead of putting like 25% down, you put 30 or 35% down. And then if you factor in like principal pay down, the return's actually not bad on it. If you're just looking at cash on cash return, it's not great. But again, if you factor in how much you're actually paying down on the property every year, the return's still decent. And then again, I think hopefully the interest rates start to drop a little bit in the future, and there's always the option to refi later, which is what we'll do. So we've got a higher interest rate on it right now. If the rates drop substantially, say over the next year or two, then we'll refinance it at that time.
So we're driving from a duplex that's a 2-1 to essentially the same thing, just a little bit smaller.
Yep.
And thought process is just cheaper rent.
So it's a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit cheaper rent. We've literally built both, and we've done it both ways. But like I said, if we're trying to chase affordability for people, it's like we can build that exact same duplex, slightly smaller. So I think it's about 100 square feet less, which does make the bedrooms like a little bit like uncomfortably small, you know. But still nice, tall ceilings, so it feels big. But we can get that price just below the monthly rent, just below $1,000 a unit. So, again, I think right now people are tight on cash. They really like the idea of having new construction. Um, but again, for some people, I think saving that extra $100 a month might be a big selling point. So again, we're doing both. Those ones leased really well where they're at. I'll be curious to see how these ones lease. We haven't tried to pre-lease them yet. They're not complete enough. I think we're still framing. But as we get a little bit closer, we'll start trying to pre-lease them, and I'll be curious to see if that slightly more affordable rent will help stir, kind of similar, same amount of interest. It doesn't matter to us. Like when we build them, like as a construction company, we're literally like it's the same cost, or like our fees are the same with either one. The smaller one's a little bit cheaper for the customer. It's also going to be a little bit cheaper for the tenant, and so it'll be interesting to see if there's more desire for those. For duplex, this is the same as the one we just came from. So the same floor plane, they're just slightly smaller, so slightly smaller square footage. And then because of that slightly smaller square footage, we'll be able to charge slightly less rent. So instead of $1,095 a month, we'll probably list these for $995 a month. So maybe just a little bit more affordable. It'll still have the same high ceilings, all the same finishes, just a little bit smaller living room and slightly smaller bedrooms. I think some people claim to know exactly, or they think they have everything figured out and this is exactly what you should build or exactly how you do it. I just don't think that's, unless you've got a ton of experience, I don't think that's realistic. I think that's why it's important for us to, we're building the same duplex, we're trying different size and different rents to see which ones are the most popular. At the end of the day, the market is going to dictate the need. So it's like we're going to build different styles, and whichever ones are the most popular, like those are the ones that we'll continue to build more of. And then it's learning along the way, and then pivoting if something takes longer to lease up, like let's not build that again, let's try something else until we find the stuff that's really consistently leasing and selling. Hey, thanks for watching. If you guys have any interest in build to rent, so either buying one that's already been built, leased up, and fully stabilized, we can either show you ones that we have that we'd be willing to sell, or connect you with some of the companies that we're building for, that their whole plan is to sell them when they're completed and stabilized. Or we can walk you through the process of helping you buy the land and build something for you. Either way, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks again for watching.